that they've got the likes of Bao Chunlai, Chen Jin in the squad. They have preferred to use Lin Dan in every single match, whereas Park was only used against Denmark and then in the semi-final yesterday against Indonesia. And Park has lost his 2 previous matches in this Sudirman Cup campaign, losing out to Sonny Dwi Kunchoro yesterday in that semi-final in an hour and 14 minutes. Terrific match it was too. So still a buzz of excitement here after that thrilling mixed doubles.
It was such an important match, and I think it sets the tone for China now. If they were to lose it, it could come down to the doubles, but right now China has such strong singles that I think it will be easier for them possibly to win this tie.
Gozi Yang of Malaysia, our umpire.
On my right, Korea represented by Hwan. And on my left, China represented by Lin Dan.
Well, noticeable difference in the level of support for the 2 players when they're introduced to the crowd. Park for Korea, nearest to us. Lin Dan, the world and Olympic champion, far side of the court, the left-hander. Oh, indecision. Brilliant. Well, only Lin Dan could get away with that. Took the shuttle so late at the back of the court, and yet he's so fast. Got back in position, retrieved the next one, ended up winning the rally. We have to mention, though, Park's semi-final match against Malaysia, or even against Indonesia. I'm getting carried away with it all here, all the excitement, when he lost to Sonny Dwi Kunchoro in that hour and 14 minutes. Now, that is a very, very tough singles match, and I did wonder about the selection, whether in fact he would be fully recovered in time for this final. But he is the best player that Korea have got, so you might as well put him in.
That's right, he is the best, so you want him out there. Recovery maybe a little bit slower today. It was a big battle, twisting and turning a lot. Right now, I think he has great net tumble. He needs to gain the net, and his angles at the back of the court. But to beat Lin Dan's all around the best player, and his power and his smash will be tough to beat.
We should mention, of course, though, that Park did beat Lin Dan twice last year. In fact, I've seen him beat Lin Dan on a number of occasions. So obviously his style of play causes problems for Lin Dan, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Wide. Well, quite frankly, with long rallies like that, that's going to suit the left-hander, because after that grueling match that Park had yesterday, that is going to sap the energy even more from those legs. Lin Dan, former world #1. Only ranked #3 at the moment. First became world #1 in March 2004, and since then it's only been Lin Dan or Lee Chong-wei who's held that coveted position. Yeah, constructs the rally so well, Lin Dan.
You see him, such a fast racket, so quick on the feet, already moving in before Park could even react, and puts it away.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Come on, let's have a bit of effort. Oh, I love it. He's so exciting to watch, Lin Dan. Early stages, and yet he's willing to hurl himself across court, dive headlong in an effort to retrieve the shuttle.
Most people are just getting up from the first one, and he's already almost at the second.
Great personality, as well as a great badminton player, Lin Dan. Oh, look at that.
Park can't move because he's waiting there, not sure which way it's going to go. And at the last minute, he goes cross court with the smash.
Just wide. It's a good judgment from Park.
4-6.
Well, I want to ask what Park has got to do to break down and win this match, break down Lin Dan, but I mean, that's a predicament for any player in world badminton, isn't it? Because you know, Lin Dan is so good. May not be world #1 at the moment, but that's because he hasn't been playing so many tournaments. He is world champion, he's Olympic champion. Every player struggles against him.
Yeah, what's his weakness? I don't know if he really has a weakness. He has a strength, I would say, his smashing, but he's so fast out there, all around such a fantastic player. I think you just have to be patient, try to get on top of it and just be one of the better players on court.
5-6.
Yeah, we always talk about singles and the need to outmaneuver an opponent, and quite frankly, Lin Dan is so fast around the court. And I thought when he was playing against the world #1 Lee Chong-wei of Malaysia in the semi-final yesterday, I thought, well, when are they ever outmaneuvering the other? Because they're so fast, they've got such agility. Next shots aren't bad either, are they?
It's tough as a player. You want to try to pick on somebody's weakness, but when they don't have a weakness, and
yeah, applauded by his girlfriend, Xie Jingfeng. Lin Dan, golden couple of Chinese badminton.
just received a ring from him. I'm not sure what kind of ring, but a little while ago.
And they were hoping for the golden double in Beijing. She, of course, ended up with the silver medal in the women's singles. That's interesting. Both players cutting down the angles, hitting down the centre of the court, both afraid of the angle that the other can create if the shuttle goes out wide.
Service over. 9-6.
Gets himself into position so well to be able to hit the smash, and that occasion hitting straight, but he has the ability to hit it cross court, and opponents just cannot guess. You've got to wait until after he's hit it. Just impossible to anticipate overhead action exactly the same whether he's going straight down the line, down the middle, or cross court.
Service over. 7-10.
Only played 2 tournaments this year, Park. Some Hwan been doing his military service. He certainly looks very fit, physically fit, but whether he's got the match fitness, well, difficult to tell when you're playing against such a class player.
Seconds, 20 seconds.
So there's 4-point advantage in the opening game to Lin Dan and China. Remember, China, of course, won love up after the mixed doubles victory. Best of 5 matches, one of each discipline. Oh, what a fast and furious rally.
8-11.
And surely the Korean hasn't been advised to up the pace.
I think maybe that's what happened at the break there.
Well, we're at a loss to know what the tactics are against Lin Dan. Oh yeah, that's nice.
9-11.
With Park's long reach, he's very good at coming into the net, and he sets that up well. He sees Lin Dan at the net and then just pops it over twice in a row, gives him the opening.
I guess the problem for all players playing against Lin Dan, he's so fast coming forward that you feel you have to play this perfect net shot. And you don't give yourself any margin for error.
That's right. Yeah, it has to be perfect, or you're going to be eating it. If it just comes over a little bit higher, it's down.
Just missed it. Yeah, good call by the line judge.
10-12.
Very good call by the line judge. Well, he's forced to play the high backhand, which is always a sign that a player is in trouble. Just long.
Oh, and again, he sees Lindan crouching in at the net, puts the pressure on. Very intimidating to make the best net shot.
Oh, my word. Well, you see, I was trying to explain this earlier. I'm sitting here watching Lindan, and I'm trying, every time he hits an overhead, I'm trying to say to myself, right, try and see which side it's going to go. I can't tell. He's so deceptive whether he's going to bang it down the line, cross court.
I think that's one of Park's strengths, the angles, but he's not using it that often because if Lindan, the speed that he has, if he's able to get it there, then he opens the whole court and it puts him in trouble. So you see a lot of the time Park is smashing at the body in other rallies.
Such a charismatic player, Lindan. The dives, style of play, the character, the good looks. Big star here, not just in badminton. Huge sport star. Pushed just long that back line. Chin applauds Olympic bronze medalist.
Guessed it right, but a little bit too much power to control.
Almost felt he should have played to the net earlier than that final block that he tried, that he made a complete hash of. Seems to be so afraid of Lindan coming forward that he's playing everything to the back of the court. (18-11). Oh, that's landed in.
Service over. From 18.
I suppose if there's one criticism of Lindan, sometimes I think that he borders between confidence and almost arrogance, and because he has so much belief that he's going to go on and win a match, he gets himself in a winning position, and then sometimes he just seems to go off the boil because he knows that he has this ability just to win points at will, and therefore almost at times seems a little bit lazy for 2 or 3 rallies.
Yeah, almost like his confidence, or not, I shouldn't say confidence, he doesn't focus
Yeah.
into making the perfect shot, and then
14-18.
Well, this was desperately close, this final smash. Yeah. Just clipped the line. Just asking the umpire if he can tell down a bit of grip powder. (14-18) opening game.
Sudirman, 19-14.
Trying to take on Lin Dan at the net with a net exchange. Good judgment, just wide of the mark.
20, 14.
Oh, the Korean coaches obviously believe that Park trying to do the right thing, and I wouldn't disagree with that at all. Gain points. Oh, just needed the one. Just over 20 minutes of play. Leaps from that base position, clips the shuttle down. And China are 1 game up in this men's singles. 21-14 in 21 minutes. Well, lots of instruction being given to Park. Not always convinced that the players take in all that much from coaches if coaches give too much instruction at the mid-game intervals or in between games.
Yeah, I think a few quick points, what you need to do, what you want to stay away from, but if too much information, I think, is not that good for the players.
Ready. Second game, level lead.
Oh my goodness me.
1 love.
Well, obviously so busy watching his opponent, but a little wry smile from Park. Watching Lin Dan, therefore forgot to watch the shuttle. Fresh air shot.
Oh, very nice. Little deception on the net shot. Gets Park going backwards.
Yeah, it was almost a double action from Lin Dan. What a lift. Good judgment.
Service over. 1-2.
Hard fought rally. Oh my goodness.
Very close.
Well, I have to say that the line judges and the court officials all week here have done a marvellous job. All volunteers.
2-all.
Very nice shot. He has to be confident coming into the net. I know it has to be perfection, but he did that well. Got a shorter lift and able to use his angles well.
Yes, I think about the only way you can sort of open up the opportunities against Lin Dan. You're right, with a tight spinning net shot, force a short lift, and then you've got the opportunity. But the big problem, most players, most of the time against Lin Dan, is to get to the net first to be able to play that tight spinning net shot. But he did it brilliantly in that last rally. Oh, that's landed in.
Service over. 3-4.
Oh.
4-3.
Just incredibly fast to get back. Play that round the head smash. I mean, I thought the return of serve was sort of almost an attacking shot. But Lin Dan
Flies. There.
And again.
There he flies again.
Park on the return of serve. He's keeping the shuttle low, trying to get it past Lin Dan. If you give it any more height, well, you know Lin Dan's going to smash it anyway. That's why he's trying to keep it flatter. But the left-hander's so quick, he's able to deal with it.
Service over. 4-5.
Well, our theory that Park needs to control the net, well, it's just impossible. I really don't think, I think you're right, I don't think he has weaknesses, does he?
It's tough to find.
What a backhand. Landed on the back line. Lin Dan doesn't like the call.
5-6.
Oh, no, that was perfect. That was plumb on the line. the judgment was sound.
Service over, 6-7.
One of the rare occasions that Lin Dan has actually taken the shuttle a little too late at the back of the court.
Park trying to play into his body, but Lin Dan's just so quick.
Dr. Kang, president of Badminton World Federation. Well, he's enjoying the spectacle. He's from Korea, but totally impartial as president of the BWF. Just enjoying the badminton, as we all are.
Service over, 7-9.
You know, I'm very impressed with Park here, because it would be so easy after that opening game when Lin Dan was so impressive. China are obviously already 1-love up in the Sudirman Cup final. The crowd are supporting Lin Dan. For Park to get a little bit dispirited, but he's really stuck in there. He's still in this match.
Yeah, he knows how important this game is. The mix was really important. China won, but now Korea needs to win this game to make it go the length. He knew this was going to be hard coming into it, and he's just trying his best and fighting all the way.
8-9.
Well, he's narrowed the gap to just 1 point.
Being a team event too, it's not just you out on court. You know, your whole Korea is fighting for you to win, as well as China, with the big support here as well.
This is a good rally. Oh, it's just wide.
Service over, 10-8.
In the end, the Korean just running out of patience. Oh, yes. And that's about the first time he's really launched himself towards the net to threaten the net shot from Lin Dan. And he did it very well indeed. And according to our match statistics, first winner who's played like that. idea from Park Hwan, trying to put pressure on to his opponent coming forward. But Lin Dan with a 2-point advantage at the mid-game interval. Well, Lin Dan certainly looked, his body language in the mid-game interval there when he was talking to his coaches, looked very positive, very confident, kept nodding his head. Yeah. Know what I'm doing.
Very nice. Park's coming in nice and high at the net, just being able to flick it on the back line.
Yeah, I think Park now is beginning to exploit all four corners of the court a little more than he was able to do in the opening game. Seems to be able to push Lin Dan a little bit more, corner to corner, forward to back. He's back level. That is terrific. Using his height, clipping the shuttle down. He's almost 6'2", is Park. And he's into the lead. How much of Lin Dan is actual speed of foot and how much is speed of thought? Because he seems to be stepping into this one before Park has even played it. He's such anticipation that he almost seems to be starting to move before his opponent has played the shot.
Yeah, I almost think a lot of the time he knows where his opponent's going to hit it before his opponent is actually going to hit it. He sets it up well. He knows there's only a few shots with that pressure that Park can play, and he's already moving to that spot and does the job.
Just checking the court surface for the perspiration. Court moppers have already been out. You can see with Lin Dan, his shirt absolutely sodden with perspiration. asked for the court marker again.
Ready.
12 all, second game. Lin Dan having taken the first 21-14. Well, as the rally progressed, I really thought Park is doing everything right here. He's trying to outmaneuver his opponent. He threw in a deceptive punch clear as the final shot, and it landed just a whisker long of that back line, but Lin Dan had been deceived.
Yeah, he was charging the net on that one, and if it went in, I think that would have been a winner.
Okay.
That's nice. Well, just a moment ago, there's me saying that Lin Dan is anticipating so well and seems to be there before his opponents even hit the shot. In the last two rallies, he's been totally deceived. All credit to Park. Just wide. Good judgment on Park. He was in a position, could have played it. Decides to just pull his racket away at the last moment.
So quick, flying around the court. Great get on the attack. He just rushes the net.
Doesn't just get it back, gets it back with interest. Recovery so quick as well. All level once again. Well, what does that tell you? Korean coach, head bowed low. Crikey. Well, if I was a player on court and I turned around and saw my coach doing that,
It's tough.
that would be tough. Good aggression from Park. Park Wang, fist in the air, urging himself on. Oh, just wide.
Service over. 16-15.
Whisker.
Service over. 16-4.
Well, I said it earlier how impressed I was with Park and his mental toughness to keep in here fighting. Despite the crowd's overwhelming support for Lin Dan. Clearly in.
17-16.
Talking to Joe Park, one of the all-time best mixed and doubles players, Korea works a lot on mental toughness, and I think you can tell with a lot of the players that
Brilliant. What a shot. We've seen that similar shot from Lin Dan earlier in the match. But this time from Park, leaping from that base position, playing around the head, cross-court smash. And the crowd here can't believe what they're seeing, quite frankly. They thought this would be a breeze for Lin Dan. We knew it'd be tough. We knew that Park has beaten Lin Dan in the past. Patient play from Lin Dan. It's been a few rallies since we've seen any injection of pace, though, from the left-hander. That famous explosive movement. There is the magnificent Sudirman Cup. 80 centimetres tall, that trophy. I said there hadn't been an explosion of pace.
you asked for it, he heard you.
And he moves to within 2 points of the match, and therefore the opportunity for China to go 2-love up in this Sudirman Cup final. The court will need to be mopped because of the dive from Park.
Yes, over the years you've seen more diving in men's singles. More before, it used to be more footwork as well, but now diving. And I think Lee Chung-wei and Lin Dan are two of the top ones that actually dive in control, able to get up and react to the next shot.
Absolutely. Yes, just supervising the court attendant. 19-17, second game. Lin Dan 2 points away from victory. Now just the one.
20,
Much to the approval of head coach Lee Yong-bo.
Most of the last three rallies you see Lin Dan a bit more motivated, bit more aggressive. and it shows it in the rallies. She wants to win this one in 2.
3 match points. Well saved from Parks and Hwan.
Uses his height so well. Quick racket, clips it down.
Unison from the crowd. It is still match point for Lin Dan. And this time, the victory for the world and Olympic champion. Lin Dan goes across to see his coaches. Victory in 2 straight games against the Korean Parks and Hwan. 21-14, 21-18 in 50 minutes of play. A big sigh of relief because China are now 2-love up in the final of the Sudirman Cup 2009. By virtue of victory in the mixed doubles, first of all for the scratch pairing of Zheng Bo and Yu Yang, and now Lin Dan has delivered. Everybody expected him to deliver. And Li Yongbo knows that China will be very, very difficult to beat from here. Their confirmation of the score. Lin Dan victory over Parks and Hwan, 21-14, 21-18. And China 2-love up in the Sudirman Cup final against Korea. 6 times champions China in a very strong position now.